Welcome back to the rest of the story. This, I plan on being the last 7600 update video, at least for this particular issue. Now, let's start off by saying, for those that aren't really caught up in everything that's been going on, the 7600s cylinders, they are back to 100%. They work, they're loose, they're free. We're still having issues with it. The reason being, and you guys did see a video where I was grading with this already. I mean, we do have the blade on the back. What was happening, which we found out after we had the cylinders all fixed, that this was a multiple issue problem. The first issue was the fact those cylinders were terrible. The second issue, which we come to find out, was a product of this right here. It's your draft control for the 3-point. Long and short, it's what you adjust for the hydraulic arms to adjust if you're pulling like a chisel plow or a 5-bottom plow. And we've never had a, oh, I can't say that. We used to 5-bottom plow, but we currently don't have anything where that's an issue. I never even gave that a thought, that would be giving us issues, but it is. Because what was happening is that the 3-point arms, once we got it back together, would work when they wanted to. So what they would do, you could be using them for something here, in this case, grading. And what was happening is that you could drive 100 feet after dropping the blade down, go to pick it back up, turn around and go to drop it again, and it won't drop. See, it was touchy. It would work when it wanted to. Well, we know for a fact that everything in the back end is loose, it's free. So I ended up breaking down and called John Deere up. They sent down a tech. He ended up looking up on the computer, pulling a code off of the tractor, and in about, oh, it took him 10-15 minutes. But he come to find out that that switch that I just showed you is bad, because it's throwing multiple voltages when it's sitting idle. Without adjusting it, it's throwing random voltages. It's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to stay, steady. So, an expensive part later, that's right, this little switch, which, well, it cost enough, let's just say that much, is hopefully going to alleviate the last of the issues we have. It really shouldn't be too bad to replace. All it is got a plug on it. Honestly, the worst part is probably going to be just taking everything off. I'm going to take these bolts out, take this off, this trim, and what I'm thinking is, if I can't get down behind this or pull this out. It's been a while. The last one we actually pulled, see, there's actually 4 sections in here. The last section we did was this. We actually had to rebuild the shift lever because the pins that were down in there actually broke off the E-clip, and I could shift into reverse while the tractor was still going forward, or I could put it in park and the tractor would keep going forward. That only happened once, so we don't have any transmission too big of issues, at least I'm aware of. I did it once and I tore it apart until we figured out what the heck was going on. So, what I'm going to do, I don't have a camera mount where I could just prop you guys, maybe, I don't know, we'll see. How about we try this? I'll try to give you guys some ongoing shots of what's going on. And I'll do my best, so start tearing this apart. Well, okay, it's voiceover time. I'm going to look like I'm working a lot faster than what I typically do. This video is sped up by 2 times the normal speed. It took me a little over 8 minutes to get it done, and this is going to be about a 4-minute long narration. Yeah, I actually missed out on it. My coat's covered in cow manure. Earlier, if you guys follow my Instagram, we had a calf we had to treat, and that was a result of having to to catch him, and had to force him to give him a shot. Because you know kids these days, I don't think anybody gets a shot because, well, they like it. So, alright. Yeah, I think you're going to have a little bit of trouble here with my leg. I really wasn't watching where the camera was when I was doing this. This really isn't that bad of a job. But the worst part is all this trim and plastic. It has to be pretty well perfect for it to line up, that you can actually take it on and off. So what I'm catching on back here is actually the wire for the power plug for any accessories that you have in the tractor. And I don't know if you can see it this angle or not. You see, that is the plug that actually gave us issues with the round baler this year, and that is also why we had to go through and wire a power line directly from the battery back to the back of the cab for the baler, because the wiring is not built heavy enough to run that actuator for the net wrap on the round baler. I could have sped this along a little bit quicker if I used the power drill, but a regular old screwdriver builds character. At least that's probably what Grandpa would say. Yeah, like we did before, I don't think I've ever really had this part of the panel off. I did have the front end off. We had to pull out with the throttle, and I think the shift lever, that all just turned off, but we actually had to pull that out, and there's a pin or something that was sheared off in it too 2 years ago that made quite a bit of a headache, because what would happen is you could shift it, but there was so much play in it. Yeah, and what I'm holding up right now, that screwdriver, I know I'm all over the board here while I'm trying to talk, and this screwdriver were long lost screwdrivers that were actually underneath the switches for the air and the heat. They actually were hidden up underneath there, really where you couldn't see them. The only reason I found them was because I had my hand down in there looking for wires. So yeah, I guess I could say I've been looking for them for a while. And yeah, here it is coming off already. I don't think I talk about it in the later videos, but my cigarette power outlet, I kind of messed that up. I tried cleaning it up, and a trait of that is it actually lights up. You can see the green part, there's a little light bulb. Well, in the process of running the wire brush down underneath to clean any of the rust up off the connections, I managed to smash the holder for that little light bulb. So now it doesn't sit in there tight. Yeah, it still sits in there like it should, but it spins around now. I'm pretty sure I broke a tab off. But, oh well. All we really need it for is for a phone charger between me and Ryan. None of us smoke around here. If anybody smoked, they'd be getting screamed at. That's really not the whole tobacco thing we really aren't crazy about around here. So, I'm about out of video here. I'm going to take the camera back over. So, alright, here we go. Okay, you guys saw me take this out. Of course, maybe you didn't. This plate goes right here where all that mess is. Took out, was it 3 plugs? And really not that big of a deal. Well, you guys are looking at my nostrils. But just like I thought, down in here, this plug right here, and then all I have to do is loosen that up, which it's already loose, and it should pull right out. Oh, it was actually just sitting on there. So that's all it is, assuming that they sent me the right part. A little different, huh? Same plug. So Alright, let me get this old one out. I'll get the new one back in, and I'll show you what's up. Well, it's as simple as that, guys. All I had to do, just line it back up and tighten it down. I did tighten that down considerably more than what it was when we took it out. Just gonna, well, even when you put this cap back on it, there you go. It even works exactly how it's supposed to. The only difference is this doesn't have a detent on it when it's off. The old one, as I was looking at, though it does detent. I don't know if you can hear that subtly, but the back end is actually kind of busted out of it. See, this was actually shoved down and out quite a ways. I actually pushed it back up in. So, I don't know, right or wrong, it's junk. It's been in there for quite a while. That's irrelevant, because I'm happy just as long as my tractor works. We've been checking the weather forecast, and they're not saying much for poor weather. I guess they took it all out of the forecast, which is irrelevant because the tractor still needs to work. I don't know, I'll get this put back together. I really don't think you guys need to watch me put it back together, and hopefully we can go back to using this tractor the way it was intended to be used. So, with that, take care, take it easy, keep in touch. I'll talk to you guys later.